Okay, I can do this. I can do this all in one shot, right? Right. Okay. Hi guys. So, I'm continuing work on a project that I kind of stopped working on about a month ago. Well, maybe a little bit longer. It's when I was first getting back into vlogging, working on the berries over here, and I'll put the footage that I do have, oh, devilweed, in my garden bed. I'll put the footage, the starting footage, if I can find it. I had a computer meltdown, so, you know. Anyway, if I can find it, I'll go on ahead and clip it on before this, but let me turn you around and show you. Okay, so these are our 2 blueberries that we put in last year. I do need to get in there and I need to weed. Again, these are more surface weeds from what's been kicked up during the process of mowing out here, which is fine. A lot of the deeper weeds have been taken care of, so that's a good sign. I've been researching some mulch options, and I think I found what we need to go in there, and I'm going to put some in there. And I'm going to do the same thing in the raspberry area that I'm going to do with the blueberries. But today we've got like 2 or 3 days worth of rain coming. So, plan for tonight is to go on ahead and get these weeded. I'm not going to be putting the brick around the raspberries. Turn you around here. Okay, so that's a raspberry there, and then right there is also another raspberry. And I've got brick still that I can use on these guys here. However, that's my dog barking at me. However, I'm not going to worry about that today. My plan is just to get them all weeded out and completely cleared out so that I can come in towards the end of the week. Probably Friday is going to be my next shot at getting out here. So I will plan on having more of those rocks and then some mulch to go in to help keep the weed seeds from taking root. At least that's the goal anyway. So this will probably be a multi-day vlog again, but that's all right, because really the brutal part is going to be the weeding more than anything. So let's go on ahead and get this part going and in hyperlapse. Oh, and if you notice that I'm wearing this, it's because I have a cut on my hand and I didn't want to get any extra dirt in it. So I've got this inside my gloves, but I'm gonna go on ahead and get you guys on hyperlapse and hopefully get these guys all dug out as quickly as I can. Okay, let's get going. Okie dokie. And that is that for now. Okay, so I got in there, got everything weeded out, and I had planned on just doing those 4. So I was not coming down any further into the blackberry section. I'm still trying to decide and figure out the best way to trellis that blackberry vine. A genius idea has not yet come to me in that regard. However, I'm very happy with what I got done this evening. So the next thing that I need to do is go and pick up some more of those pavers or bricks to go around and some mulch to go in, because the weeds are just doing what they are supposed to do, really, in all honesty. There's an old Jewish saying that nature abhors a vacuum, and that's very, very true. And it's very instinctive for us even to want to fill up empty space. And nature does the exact same thing. Nature will go in and will fill up an empty space. And that's why you see after a burn happens, you will see a ton of things blooming within a month to 2 months. So that's just the natural way the earth works. God created it that way. Nothing you can do to fight against it. But I'm going to go on ahead and sign off for tonight. Go and get myself cleaned up and get the dogs taken care of. And I will be seeing you on technically day 3 of this project. And that will be laying the mulch and then putting around the rest of the little bricks that are going to provide a hopeful barrier to everything else and allow the bushes to get bigger, because they should be getting 1 foot at least by 1 foot high. So that being the case, I will see you guys Friday, because there's rain the next 2 days. All right, so I'll see you then. All right, today is just, what is this, day 3 technically, I think, of working in Berry Ridge. And I got all the supplies that we needed brought in yesterday. Probably should have vlogged that, but I forgot to grab my camera. So I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm gonna set you up here, because so we got all of these guys completed, except for we're going to be putting in some compost and manure inside, and then topping off with some of this pine bark mulch. And then these guys down here, these are the 2 raspberries. So I've got some bricks, obviously, brought in, and we're going to circle the top. They're all weeded out, and then after I get the bricks laid in there, what we'll do is we'll do the exact same thing, put some compost and manure and some mulch inside. Yeehaw. So we're making progress. We're making a lot of progress, I think. Now let me get you set up here. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm going to have a completely honest moment on here with you guys. I try to keep all of these vlogs very real life and what's going on here. And you will probably notice in the next couple of vlogs that I don't know. I'll see how I'm doing emotionally. I've got some bittersweet heart pain going on at the moment, because the position that I held for my day job, because this is just a side job, I don't really make any income off of it or anything, but this is on the side right now. The plan is that down the line, this will become the full-time job. So that is the end goal of everything that we're doing here. But I have had what I call my day job as well, and my position has been dissolved. So it's a little sad, but at the same time, there's joy in the possibility of what this could mean here. So like I said, it's very bittersweet. I'm definitely going to miss working with the people that I was working with. It's not like I'm not going to see them, because we live in the same town and there's no hard feelings. We're parting on good terms, and they're taking care of me. So yeah, you might. Sorry, that was a really loud truck. But anyway, so you might notice that maybe I seem a little not myself compared to normal, but I just wanted to give you a heads up on what was going on that way. So we're going to go on ahead and move forward with the plans that we've got going on here, and for today that does include Berry Ridge. So the sun's getting higher in the sky and we've got work to do. So let's get that started now, okay? Here we go. Alright, so got the hard part done. Just need to sit and take a drink of water here. I have a feeling I'm going to have to play background music in this one today. Which, if you've watched any of my videos for a length of time, you will have seen videos that do have music and then videos that don't, and it's just depending upon what's going on in the background. So I try to raise the voice over what I'm doing, and then I try to put a little bit of background music if it's really obnoxiously noisy or there's a lot of kids screaming at an octave that could kill an adult. You know, they have that capacity occasionally. So that's why you will see videos with it and then without it. So but we've got the hardest part of this done, and you will have seen I was putting rock underneath the stone or paver, whatever you want to call it. And in our area, if you drove around in some of the older sections of town, you will see houses and even some retaining walls that are built with all of this really, really small rock. So it's not like you have rock that are usable to build a house with. You have rock and lots of it. So a lot of times what they would do is they would go ahead and build the houses out of that, and originally they would use the clay that was naturally occurring as well here. Now, more recent years, up into the early 1900s, they started using more of your typical mortar type adhesives. However, we did not do that here. And the reason being is, with us being on the dry creek, we do get a lot of water up in here. It's not been as bad in recent years, but we haven't had heavy torrential water movement. Probably because everybody's been making sure to keep the creek pretty well cleared out of any debris. A lot of our flooding issues happen when there's a type of blockade up the river, I guess you could say. And then once the water force is strong enough to push through, then there's just this whoosh of water that comes and it'll flood up into the yard. That being said, none of our cinder block bed are mortared together either. Now that is an option for you to do. However, we have tried repeatedly and correctly, even before I was vlogging, to level portions of the yard. And we can't do it. And we had one construction guy come out and he said, it's where you're positioning everything at this area, it's not going to be a possibility, because over time, if we do a brick and mortar, that mortar's going to break, the foundational shift the same way that it's already shifting. So we just went on ahead and put our hands up in the air and said, okay, we're not going to worry about doing that. Instead, we're going to focus our energy on building up the plant life in there to hopefully help, I think I need another cup of coffee, hopefully help to strengthen up the ridge line a little bit more so the ground isn't as shifty. And that's part of what we're doing here with Berry Ridge and then going into the permaculture section of the property. All right, so I've gotten that off my chest, but now we're gonna go on ahead and move on. We are going to feed these 4 plants and then we are going to get them mulched up. So let's go on ahead and get that part of this video going, okay? Okay guys, so that's done. Turn you around here. So now obviously they're not even. We're not real worried about that. I was able to get them in where I was able to get them in, and I kind of had to just work with the land as best I could. But berry bushes actually don't mind acid, and it actually helps them thrive more. So we went on ahead and we put pine mulch in. Pine mulch is not necessarily always what you want to put around your plants, so double check what your plant's nutritional requirements are before you put pine mulch down. But you can see Berry Ridge extends clear up into those shrubby things over there, which that's elderberry, and then we have a dwarf American elderberry, and then this guy right here is a blackberry, and there was also a blackberry in there. It obviously didn't make it, it died, but this is a cane variety thornless blackberry that we got from a friend. And this is where I'm actually going to be asking for a little bit of help from you guys, because I am trying to figure out the best way for me to trellis this guy just for containment. We have a spring-loaded T-post driver, and we had tried to put in some extra T-posts, and handy panels is what we were going to use to make a trellis there for that. However, I was not strong enough, and my mom wasn't strong enough, and together we weren't strong enough to get it in. So we are trying to figure out what we need to do to help corral it Is that a good way of putting it? We need to kind of corral it a little bit because they are a vigorous grower and it will fill this area. We're probably going to put in maybe 1 or 2 small blackberry bushes over here, kind of in the same, I think these are shortcake varieties of blueberries and raspberries that I just worked on. We're going to try and see if we can get a couple blackberries in, maybe 1 or 2 in that space near that existing blackberry. We also talked about moving that blackberry to the back 40 across the pavement over there and just letting it ramble. So that's definitely an option. Hey, old girl. But it won't be an option this year because we're a little bit too late to transplant. We're out of that season. It's already flowering, and it seems to be very, very happy on this little trellis that we've got it on, but it's not going to hold it, at least not for much longer. So if you guys don't mind sharing some tips, tricks, or ideas down below in the comment section, I would greatly appreciate that sort of help. But it's starting to get hot out here. I'm getting a little tired. So it's about noon, so we need to eat anyway. And I'm gonna go on ahead and sign this vlog off and see you guys on the next one, okay? So as always, keep it simple, natural, and essential. Bye, guys.